On this episode of UTravels, we are getting into the Halloween spirit by taking a ghost tour around the city of Austin, encountering bats under the Congress Avenue Bridge, and eating some creative donuts. Come join us!
It's Saturday night and it's about to get spooky. Come join us on the Ghost Tours of Austin. Let's go!
It's our first night in downtown, and we are ready to see some ghosts.
I am your tour guide for the Austin Ghost Tours. Yes, I have a doctorate in performance art, which is proof that with hard work and determination, you can buy anything on the internet. I've been with the Austin Ghost Tours for 17 years now. This tour is the Ghosts and Alleyways of Guytown.
The tours start at 8 p.m., either Friday or Saturday night.
Probably the spookiest thing was actually the first thing to ever happen to me, and I was only 6 years old. My parents love history, and they would actually take me out of school to go visit historic sites. I grew up thinking that cemeteries and playgrounds were synonymous. All right, so our first, like I said, honorable mention is this building right over here, Handlebar. A fun little bar I highly recommend, but of course it wasn't always a bar. I remember getting there, nobody's there except for the curator. He's in his office and he's upset because he wanted to watch The Price is Right. So my parents start talking to him and I say, Mom, can I go play in the courtyard? There's a large courtyard there. And I run out there being a 6-year-old. And then across the courtyard from me, I see a reenactor. He's got the old Republic of Texas garb on, carrying his rifle. And I wanted to see the gun. 6-year-old kid. But I'm also wary because we already disturbed that curator. He didn't seem like a nice guy. So I take my time walking over to this reenactor. And as I get closer, he turns and starts walking away from me, following the wall. I keep about that 30-foot distance away, keep walking together, and then he abruptly takes a turn into a small doorway, and I run up to catch up with him, turn, he's not there, but my parents and the curator are. So I walk over and stand next to them, wait a moment for a lull in the conversation, say, where'd the reenactor go? And the curator says, boy, there's no reenactors here, you're the only folks come out on a rainy day like this. I saw something, I kept my mouth shut. I kept bringing it up to my mom throughout the day. And at the end, when she was putting me to bed that night, I said, Mama, do you think maybe I saw a ghost? And I'm never going to forget what she said. She looked at me and said, well, if you did, it's okay. So my entire life I've been cool with ghosts because at the very beginning, it's okay.
We're at the Driscoll Hotel, one of the most haunted places in all of Austin. Let's go inside.
But they figured everyone who's anyone's going to want to come stay here. They'll have all their money back in 6 months. Sounds like a plan, right? Unfortunately, it didn't work out that well for them. Christmas of 1886 was the coldest winter Austin has ever seen. There was snow on Christmas Day. That long, cold winter was following one of the longest and harshest droughts Austin has seen up until recent years. And to top it all off, a year before that, there was a serial killer stalking the streets of Austin, killing innocent young girls. We'll talk about him later. But needless to say, nobody really wanted to come to Austin. 6 months after the Driscoll opened, it closed. What you notice is that one of those rocking chairs is just slowly rocking. Her first thought is maybe I bumped it. Just keeps rocking. Maybe it's the wind. There's not enough wind to blow the other chair, let alone her hair, and it just keeps rocking. By this time the groom comes out, he's got the champagne and glasses, and she casually mentions the rocking chair. Like I said, they've taken the tour. They're cool with the idea of ghosts here at the Driscoll. And so he puts the stuff down, picks up a glass, picks up the bottle of champagne, pours a glass of champagne, and toasts. He says to you, whoever you may be, thank you for joining us on our special night. Puts the glass of champagne down, and the rocking stops. My favorite tour has to be the haunted 6th Street pub crawl. Not just because there's alcohol involved. Okay, that helps. But I really enjoy it because we go into several buildings. 6th Street has a great history going back to the 1840s even. And we get to explore that history, explore the stories and the lives of the people that lived there.
As we continue the tour, we take in the nightlife of 6th Street. And then things get a little scary.
If you're feeling a little bit faint or you just don't want to know, I get it. Feel free to go la 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 for a couple minutes. When I go like this, the gory, scary part's over. Nobody's taking me up on it. I love Halloween. All right, here we go. To prevent her from ever waking, he pulled out a rod about this long, sharpened on one end, blunt on the other. Put it between her temple and ear, about right there. And with the blunt into that axe, hammered it into her skull, through her brain, and then out the other side. Somehow he had the anatomical knowledge to know that this would not kill her, this would leave her brain dead, going through the gray matter. Down here through the brain stem, the medulla oblongata, would be instant death. Respiration would cease, the heart would stop, you are dead. Through here, you can live almost indefinitely with a rod shoved through your head. With her incapacitated like this, he then, as they said back then, outraged her, violated her. Pulled out a razor blade, made incisions all up her arms, body, legs, face, and then finally slit her throat and removed the rod to ensure her death. Okay, first off, the gruesome part's over. We're jumping forward. It's 2017 again. We open up our newspapers tomorrow morning. Who am I kidding? We open up our news feed tomorrow morning. And we see that this has happened in the city of Austin. This is a shocking, gruesome attack. Even in our world, where sadly atrocities are almost a daily occurrence, this is shocking. Since 3 years before Jack the Ripper, 75 years before the term serial killer was even in extensive use.
We're in one of the many alleyways of Austin, Texas, and let me just tell you, it does not smell good, and it's a little spooky.
So every Friday night, and this is all year round, every Friday night we have a Capitol District tour. It goes around the Capitol buildings. That one leaves from the Omni Hotel on 8th Street. The Saturday we have two different tours. The Ghosts and Alleyways of the Red Light District, or Guytown. That starts at the JW Marriott. And then there's also the Warehouse District tour that starts at Moonshine's Patio and Grill on 3rd and Red River. Those are our 3 weekly tours. The pub crawl is about once a month, and the serial killer tour is on occasion. We also offer private groups. If you have a group just wants to go out and have a good time, I think our minimum is 20 people. It's not too hard to put together a big group and go have a good time with the ghost tour.
About 90 minutes later, we have successfully walked a mile around the city learning about its eerie past. Even though we didn't see any ghosts, others have before. If you feel a little scared, bring your dogs. Man's best friend is allowed to come on the tour and search for ghosts with you. At $20 a ticket, you'll become immersed in your tour guide's stories and knowledge about Austin's history. It's the next day, and we've traveled all the ways to Lady Bird Lake, where we are going to embark on an hour-long cruise. The times of the cruises change depending on the time of year, so make sure you check on Capital Cruises' website to keep up to date with check-in times.
Tonight we're on Austin Lake.
Let's take a cruise from Capital Cruises.
Come with us as we see the bats fly over the city.
Come on a amazing tour of Austin and to see seriously one of the craziest things that people travel from all over the world to see. $10. Come on our boat ride, and it's a really good time, and we make it funny. We definitely try. Give some nice friendly waves to all those folks up on the bridge. Those are all the folks that have been turned into vampires by these bats, so they'll probably start flying any minute now too. It's just like a really chill way to see the entire city, see something amazing. Silker Park is the largest park in town. It's a little over 300 acres. That's Barton Creek. And if you take that creek about a quarter mile down, you'll hit the north wall of Barton Springs. And it's a beautiful, huge, natural swimming pool.
The surrounding areas are indeed beautiful. As the cruise continues, we can't help but indulge in the natural beauty and wildlife of the lake. As we take in these beautiful views, things get a little spooky as we learn more about Austin's history.
Early 1900s, Austin had a predator on the loose. The headlines here in Austin, everyone was looking for the servant girl annihilator. That's what that's what his name was, Servant Girl Annihilator. So, we had to keep our moon towers up and running to protect our servant girls.
After learning a little bit about Austin's eerie past, we make our way towards the Ann W. Richards Congress Avenue Bridge to learn more about the bats we will be seeing later in the night.
It's home to the largest colony of wild urban mammals in the whole entire world. These are Mexican free-tail bats living underneath this bridge. They spend the very coldest months of the year down in Mexico. It's a little over 750,000 bats that are flying up specifically to this bridge to live in this bridge for the next 8 months. These Mexican free-tail bats, they're incredibly intelligent, so they found this bridge very quickly, and all of a sudden we had hundreds and thousands of bats flying right through downtown. 90% of that 750,000 plus bats are pregnant. So it's a maternity colony of bats. This bridge is the safest place in the whole entire world for them to come and have their baby.
After learning about bats, we continue cruising on the lake. As the sun continues to set, we take in some gorgeous views of Austin's skyline. Making our way back towards the bridge, we are excited to see some bats fly.
Bat season is essentially March through November. They fly up here sometime starting at the end of February, beginning of March, and there can be some really exceptional emergencies even that early.
And the bats decided to put on a spectacular show for us.
Typically, the best time of year to see the bats is end of July, August, September. I get to see them every single night, and it seriously takes my breath away. I think they are amazing, and that's the best experience.
Not only did we see the bats fly out from under the bridge, but we had the chance to learn more about Austin's history. We are ending our weekend Halloween adventures with some dessert.
We're here at the historic 6th Street about to try some donuts from Voodoo Doughnut.
Let's go check it out. Voodoo Doughnut is great for any punk rocker, weirdo, fun person to come and have a good time with any group of audience, any family member, and have a chuckle, giggle, and know a name about every experience in the donuts flavor. Being on 6th Street, it's, late night place to go and have fun with your friends when all the bars and everything are closed. Really great for kids in college, have a place to go to. But as a customer on the weekend, it's so busy, you're gonna meet a new friend in line, walk up to a counter where you've never seen a product that you've never seen. Not many people put tang and you see little critters on top of donuts, and cereal. And you guys are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yeah. Wow.
Donuts start at 95 cents, and you can choose from a variety of options. Vegan donuts are also available.
So in this box, I put pretty much our most popular, best-selling donuts, and then along with the rest of them. Let's dig in. I'm gonna try the mango. Mango, let's cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. See?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Captain Crunch. I like it. It's like a cereal on a donut. Amazing.
So this is the dirt, rightly named because it has Oreos on top. And I like Oreos, so I think I'm gonna like this donut.
And this is the sprinkle cake, rightly named because it's sprinkle and cake.
Ready? Cheers.
Simple yet effective.
It's like cookies and cream, but on a donut. Really good.
I'm a fan of sprinkles, so this is really, really good for me.
So this is the Diablo spread, and it's just chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. So I'm super excited to try this one. I enjoyed it.
And this is the Old Dirty Bastard, rightly named. It looks amazing. Yeah, I'm excited to try that.
Cheers for like the first time.
I like this one. You can taste it all. It has the bread, you can taste the peanut butter, you can taste the Oreos. So it's all mixed together very well.
Once you get into the chocolate morsels right there, like that's what I think.
Right?
It's like a chocolate cake, a mini little chocolate cake, and I love it.
It's good from that 90 donuts. And this is the bacon maple, rightly named bacon maple.
I'm so curious on how this tastes, and I'm not a fan of bacon, so I'm really hoping that I love this donut.
Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Wow.
This makes me love bacon. It actually does.
Bacon and maple. There's no other way to describe it. It's solid.
It's like a strange, like, combination. It's as if you're eating breakfast, but it's one donut, and you can have it any time of the day. 24 hours.
Oh. I really dig it.
I really think it's
This is the Voodoo doll.
So the Voodoo Doughnut is filled with like a red jelly that makes it look as if blood is coming out. It's very surreal. So it's just a basic donut with the chocolate covering, but then all of it comes out and you just like take it. Perfect.
I like it. Really, the blood is great.
These are just some of the many donuts that Voodoo has to offer.
Definitely come back and check it out.
If you decide to go to Voodoo Doughnut for your midnight donut cravings, don't forget to bring cash. If you do, they do have ATMs for you. After our delicious outing, we headed back to campus to learn more about a unique study abroad experience available to students at the University of Texas at Austin.
I studied abroad in Rome, Italy, and I went on the Rome Study Program. It's a language immersion program that's a UT faculty-led summer program. I took an Italian composition and conversation class, so that's entirely in Italian, and then an Italian civilization, evolution of the Italian narrative, which is in English. I loved the weekend trips we did with my program. My favorite one was to Matera. We were there for 4 days and it was amazing. But I also loved our free weekends where my friends and I just traveled. We went on one free weekend north to the north of Italy. We visited the small town where my family's from. That was really awesome. Went hiking in the Dolomites. And then on a second weekend, free weekend, me and two of my friends went to Germany and to Switzerland for 4 or 5 days, and it was amazing. I don't know, I just had an awesome time. Like, my host family was amazing. My host siblings were even better. They were super nice and corrected me when I spoke Italian wrong, because most of the parents just understood and kept going, but they're like, no, you're saying it wrong, which really helped my Italian skills. The food, obviously, like the best part of Italy is by far the food. We ate well every day, so I miss that. So, yeah, I loved my time. I miss it. I'm getting nostalgic thinking about it. I love my program and definitely suggest anyone who has an interest in learning the language and getting to know the culture.
Thanks, Daniela, for telling us about your study abroad experience. Our Halloween adventures have officially ended, and we hope that you at home have enjoyed learning about fun events and places that you can visit the next time you are in Austin.
Oh, it's really interesting so far. Learning a lot of information and learning history and everything that each place has to offer, which is nice.